It's hard to believe that it's already been a few years since Honda Cars Philippines phased out the Odyssey. Well, thankfully, we have the Custin from Hyundai. Hey everyone, Vince here from AutoIndustriya, and today we've got the new Hyundai Custin for you. Or is it Custo? Because this vehicle comes from China. And in China, they market it as the Hyundai Custo, named after Jacques Cousteau. And in international markets, they market it as the Custin. So depending on your preference, Custin actually sounds good. No, not that Custin, that's Timberlake. So the Hyundai Custin is an almost 5-meter long, 5-door MPV that is more like a luxury minivan, but not at luxury prices. So think of something along the lines of, let's say, an Okavango or an Innova Zenix in terms of the pricing, or even the new GAC M6 Pro. But in terms of the aspirations and the way they do the interior and the appointments, they're trying to be more along the lines of the Honda Odyssey or even the Toyota Previa from back in the day. Because you've got here 2 doors in front that swing out, and when you get your key, you can actually open both sliding doors, both on the left and the right of the vehicle, to facilitate easy ingress and egress, particularly if you're sitting in the middle row. We'll show you in a bit. But in terms of styling, you can see the inspiration right here. It's got Hyundai's family look, similar to the one in the Tucson, with the way they do the headlight, the way it integrates with the grille. Looks very sleek. It doesn't have the ground clearance of a Tucson, but it's got 174 millimeters, so it's not too bad. It also makes it lower, makes it easier for everyone to get in and out of the vehicle. But as you can see, this is not an Alphard type where it's quite tall. This is more along the lines of going for a vehicle that's a bit wider, more like a family minivan, or even an executive minivan if that's your kind of thing. So anyways, back to the front. The front clip, very nice, has Custin spelled out there. Headlights, it's got lights, the DRLs over here, which is actually nice when it's driving around. Fog lights here, the nice wide bumper there, and a nice set of wheels. It really does look inviting when you see the doors open like that. And you can get a sneak peek of what the chairs are, what the seats are inside, but more on that in a little bit. Let's close that up. Now you can see the relation of the width and the length and the height of the vehicle, which tends to lean more towards something like a Previa or an Odyssey, the Japanese Odyssey, not the American Odyssey. Now, looking at the vehicle, what do we see? We see the door-mounted side mirrors. By the way, this has blind spot warning and a lot of other smart driving features. We'll show you in a bit. It does have these nice grip-type door handles, but the pattern here, it's personally, I find it to be a bit much. Maybe they shouldn't have gone with that. But again, I'm not really the target market of this. That's just a preferencing of mine. And so it's a bit flashy. Has a button there to lock, unlock. Same pattern down there on the side skirts. You can also open the doors. This one does have the power open from there, but personally, just close it for now. More on that in a bit. But it does have this nice profile there. Very generous door and very generous window, which should make it easier even if you're in the third row to enjoy the view. The back of the Hyundai Custin actually looks very nice and very clean in the way they did it. I mean, the LED lights look really good. Hyundai spelled out very neatly there. The nice wide rear bumper. A nice glass here with the rear wiper and all that. And it does have the camera here, right there. So to complement the 360 camera system for the vehicle. Now, to pop the tailgate, 2 ways to do it. You can stand here in the back until it opens, right there, and then step away. Pretty neat, right? And then you can also press the button or press the key. Now, in this configuration with the third row up, you've got about 18 inches by about 52 right there. So pretty good space, but to fold down the rear seats, it's actually a 60-40 split. So you can push that down there like that, push it down because that rear seat is down there. And then when you do that, you've got plenty more space, up to 46 right there. You can even go further if you so wish, if you have like a long item there, but just be careful not to scuff up the middle row because that's the prime seat in this. Now, under here, we have some generous storage here for tools and like. You have your jack here and all that. You also have 2 compartments for shoes and the like, and a manual open for the rear filler door. So it's actually good when it comes to practicality. You can store here. You got plenty of cargos. I think you can fit maybe 2 or 3 like buy-in boxes in here. Pretty good, all things considered. Anyways, now let's check out what's under the hood because a lot of interesting things about what's going on under the hood. It is a bit dirty though. First things first, I have to apologize for the dirtiness of the engine bay. Normally we would clean it and give it a nice wipe, but there's a bit too much dust under here for us to get in everywhere, so it needs a full engine wash. Anyways, at the heart of the Custin is a 1.5 liter SmartStream T-GDi engine. So yes, it's a turbo intercooler engine. We can see the turbo, we can see the intercooler. It's over there beside the radiator or behind the radiator on the driver's side. And it makes 170 PS at 5,500 RPM and 253 Newton meters of torque from 1,500 up to 4,000. So yes, it maintains that peak torque. Now I know what you're thinking. How can a 1.5 handle a vehicle this big that's able to carry 7 people? Well, it's because of the turbo and the way they did that torque. But if you look at some of the other models, particularly from China, like the Geely Okavango for instance, that's why they gave it a mild hybrid to enable it to manage the weight of such a vehicle with a full complement of passengers. So will the Custin make it? Well, we're gonna find out if it actually feels good. But first, let's check out what's inside. If you went on the road trip aboard the Custin and you drew the short straw and have to sit here, it's actually not bad. I mean, in terms of legroom, you're gonna have to move things around to be more, I guess, equitable to give you some space here. But all things considered, it's not too bad so long as there's 6 of you. If it's 7, maybe not so much, but as it stands, it's actually quite all right here. The sunroof doesn't make it feel, enclosed. The windows here are actually quite generous, which is a good thing. You have 4 cup holders here in the back, and you have your own rear AC, which you can control from right there. And it's actually really nice. The only thing missing here, USB ports. If you didn't draw the short straw, or if you can pull rank, then you can sit right here, because these 2 seats in this variant of the Custin, absolutely fantastic. These are both relaxation seats, not just captain seats. I mean, yes, they do have the armrest just like captain seats, but it's so much more than that. The upholstery, nice and plush. You can control it via the panel here on the left to recline a bit more, or you can mess around with the presets like here, relaxation mode. So it'll pull into the middle a little bit, tilt up, and then just kind of take care of the setting for you. It's like going to one of those massage things at the mall. Although this one does not have the massage, it just has the relaxation seat while you stare up into the greatness and the vastness beyond, thinking about success and all that stuff. Anyways, back to the normal stuff. So the Custin, yes, has a 2-2-3 layout. So 2 in front, 2 in the middle, and 3 in the back, or at least, barely 3. But still, this is a very nice place to be in. And as you noticed, these seats can actually move left and right. So for example, if I wanted to move this, I can control that. Wait, you know what, Barney, can you move this rear right passenger seat to the left? So try, let's say that. No, press the other button too. There you go. See, it moves in closer. So actually, if I do both right now, I can kind of enjoy being like, it's basically like the possibilities of this. But we are, of course, GP, okay? We don't do that kind of thing here. So anyways, for amenities, what do you get? You do have 2 USB ports here in the back. These seats also are heated and cooled. You have a control panel over there. There's also a wireless charger here for the middle row, along with 2 cup holders, AC vents, and yeah, a lot of great stuff. But 2 of the most obvious things right here. You see, when you pop this, you've actually got a tray table. I don't know if you can see it in that camera, but you've got a tray table right now, and I'll move Barney's seat so you can see it. See, I can also control it like just like in the Camry and the other cars. You have a little tray table. It doesn't slide out, which I kind of wish it did, but it does have a cup holder on the left side, so you can have your coffee, you can have a, I don't know, bagel there or something. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but still, it's a nice thing to have, and I think it's one of the better tray tables we've seen in this class. Given that the height of the vehicle is not too tall, it's going to be very easy for Lolo and Lola to get in here and relax for your road trip. The front seat of the Custin is a nice and rather stylish place to be in, because look around you. The dashboard, what they did with it, has an abundance of actually color and some really nice details with the wood paneling here, which, by the way, is kind of a satin finish. I like that. The top, it's soft touch here, which is good. It has the stitching here. I think the stitching is kind of molded in, not really stitching, but it does look good. The AC vents, the controls has a little bit of that same pattern you have on the door handles on the outside. You also have the center stack here, very nicely done. The steering wheel, also very nice with a flat bottom. The gauge cluster, which is digital by the way, and the AC vents here, it reminds me of the Honda CR-Z in the way it looks in front of you. I mean, the H logo is different. It means Hyundai, not Honda, but still it looks good. Speedometer on the left, the digital tachometer on the right, along with your temperature and your fuel gauge. It has like all the information there, but it's kind of slim, so they didn't fill up the view like through here, which is kind of unusual. There's also no heads-up display, although I think they do have a provision for that. I mean, the way it seems to be engineered seems to be able to accommodate that, maybe for other variants in the future if they're going to do that. Back to the center stack, you have this screen up here, which is done portrait style, similar to what Ford is using, but the way Hyundai did it, it seems to be very much driver-centric, which is a nice touch. So it's kind of canted towards the driver, which is a good thing. I mean, depends on how you view the use of your car. I mean, maybe some would prefer it to be the tablet kind, like what Hyundai does with some of their other newer models now. The resolution of the screen isn't as clear as some of the newer models, because the Custin, this first launched over in China, I think in 2021, as the Custo. So the technology here stands to reason that it's not as new as some of the newer models coming out in 2023 and 2024. So keep that in mind. You have the display here for your gauges. It does have Android Auto, but it's the wired kind, not the wireless kind. So keep that in mind when it comes to this. That's why I do have my phone plugged in. It does have a wireless charger down here, along with a data USB port. There's also another compartment here underneath, which is very, very spacious. It can accommodate my bag, my everyday carry bag. And it does have a USB port, USB-A, and a 12-volt outlet there on the right side, along with a spacious compartment here, 2 cup holders here, and your transmission control right here. If you notice, they went for an arrangement similar to the one in the CR-V, or the previous generation CR-V, with the control panel. So park, reverse, neutral, and drive. Very, very straightforward, with your electronic parking brake there, auto brake hold there, and a selection of drive modes. You can see some of the other functions of the vehicle. It does have the camera when you pop it into reverse. So there, it has a 360 camera. Gelo yung nakasandal sa pintuan. You can see his shirt right there. But you can see the guidelines there for when you're reversing, going straight. And then you can pick which side to view on this. So you can have it on, this one would be the driver's side. So that's a nice touch with this. You can select what view you're looking at. Now back out of the 360 camera system. Let's go back here. It does have a novel feature because this is meant to be a family vehicle. So it stands to reason you're gonna have some kids in the back. They're gonna be rowdy. You can actually talk to them from here. Listen to this. It's like a PA system. Oy, tama na yan. Hey, don't hit your brother. Barney, tama na yan, Barney. No, don't do that. Okay, we are a family show. But a couple things that I notice here, I think they need to work on reinforcing some of the panels inside. For example, this is a grab handle. Like if you're cornering and your front passenger wants to brace themselves, they're gonna hold on to this. But the problem is, kind of moves a little bit. So you want it to be solid. You want it to be reassuring. Same with the doors. Now on the driver's side, I noticed it early on when I would nudge it with my knee and it squeaks. For example, here. See that? See that kind of movement? I don't know if Barney can capture that, but that's kind of something I would really want improved. Maybe they need a bracket in there. When you have plastic panels that move and they rub against one another, it makes a creaking sound. So those things could be improved on with this vehicle. I think they just need a bracket inside to kind of make it a bit more solid. But that's just my take on this vehicle. But now let's see how it drives, because it actually drives quite all right. And later, maybe if I get a chance to have a driver, I'll sit in the back too. After a few days aboard the Custin, I'm actually starting to like it more than I thought I would, because I'm not really big on minivans and all that, but as a drive, it's actually okay. I mean, the ride, it's fairly comfortable, all things considered. I'm not expecting a premium ride, but still, it's pretty good. When it comes to the noise, I have to be fair. I'm not expecting premium levels of noise suppression in this vehicle. So the fact that I can hear motorcycles, I can hear a lot of them, like more so than some other vehicles, it's kind of acceptable for me for this. Also, the fuel economy. And the fuel economy of this in the city, not fantastic. It's around 6.5 to 7 kilometers per liter. Average speed of about 19 to 20 kilometers per hour. So not great. On the highway, it's a lot better, along the lines of 15 kilometers per liter. So keep that in mind, this vehicle. The reason for that is because the engine is a 1.5. And the 1.5, while it does have power, you do have to keep in mind that it is a turbo gasoline engine. And the way the power comes in is via the turbine. And when the turbine injects more air or compresses the air in the engine, it does need more fuel to be able to generate that power. That is just a given with this vehicle. And it doesn't have, let's say, a hybrid, like a 48 volt hybrid assist system in this one to kind of offset it, to kind of take some of the load, particularly in low RPM situations. So it doesn't have what the Okavango has to help it along. But still, it's got power. I mean, you step on it, like right now, you know what? I'm in eco mode. Let me put it in sport mode. You step on it, the response is okay from the 8-speed automatic. So it's actually pretty good there. But there's only so much it can do really in the city. And one thing also, if you're driving it around and you mash the throttle, the way the power comes in, it almost feels like an old school turbo gasoline engine that's a bit laggy. So in terms of the feel, it's not linear. It kind of, once you hit a certain RPM, probably maybe around 2000, 1900 or something like that, it gives you quite a bit more power. It surges forward. So that's the thing with this vehicle. You'll really feel it. I think that's also the torque coming in at 1500 RPM. It's quite a surge of torque in this vehicle. So it can handle a cabin full of people. The problem is you have to rev it more to be able to get it to do so. And the reason why they had to go for a 1.5 small turbo engine, front wheel drive in this one, is because this comes from China. And you may be wondering, why does Hyundai have to source from China? I mean, they have Korea, they have Indonesia. And the reason is, this is made, I think, pretty much exclusively by the Hyundai and their partner BAIC over in China. Yes, Beijing, the same one that sells and produces 4x4s. If I'm not mistaken, they teamed up for this vehicle because they are the JV or one of the JV partners over in China. So that's going to be something that people are going to kind of look at and think, oh, why did they have to go for China? It's because it's the most, I guess, feasible place or the best place for them to get it for a price that is good. Because the reason it's got a 1.5 is it gives it an advantage when it comes to the free trade area, when it comes to the import duty. So they can price it at something more attractive to customers. And believe you me, there is a demand for an MPV that is just like this, priced like this, with sliding doors. We've always been noting that if Toyota produced an Innova or a Zenix that had rear sliding doors, that's game over. Because that's going to be something a lot of people are going to want, because you pull up to, let's say, when you go to the mall or church or school and you're parked up somewhere that's really tight, sliding doors comes in very, very handy. And it's also convenient where you can just kind of push a button and it'll open up. Even if it was a manual sliding door, those are actually very easy to use. And once you start enjoying some of the other amenities in the back, you know what? I'm going to shut up for a bit and I'll pull over to the office. I'm going to have Nico drive me while I sit here in the back.
Sir. Gising na, sir.
Ha?
Gising na.
Sarap palang sumakay sa gantong ano. I mean, I understand the appeal of a vehicle like this because you just sit here, you just relax, you let someone handle it, the business for you, like meaning the business of driving. And oh yeah, I mean, I'm always the guy who's always driving, like the cars, even if no matter how long or how far we go. So to kind of hand off the wheel and just sit here in the back and enjoy the many recline features, it's really just fantastic. The ride, it's not gonna be like the best, like an Alphard or an LM, definitely not. But all things considered, it's pretty good back here. And like I noted earlier, the noise from the outside, you can hear a bit more of it, but you just wear earplugs or something, or wear your earphones, and just kind of tone the world away. It's a nice way to go about your day. And yeah, I get the appeal. Maybe not enough to have this open all the time. Maybe I'll have the sunshade on, maybe tint the whole thing, and really just, enjoy the ride. That's great. Manong, can we make drive-thru sa Starbucks? So this version of the Hyundai Custin, it retails for 2,080,000 pesos. Now, to some, that may seem a tad high, but you have to kind of frame it in a certain way, because this kind of price and this level of features is something you would normally see in, let's say, an Odyssey or a Previa back in the day. But those vehicles are long gone in our market, and there is a demand for that kind of minivan with sliding doors and a low to the ground kind of feel, not the kind of van feel that some other vehicles tend to offer. So there is a market for this, and in that respect, the pricing, I think, might be right. Now, some may probably look at the lower grade version of this, which is around like 1.77 million, and I think that would be a great buy, but they don't have a demo unit for it yet, so I can't wait to try that one out. But overall, yes, there are some things that need to be worked on with the Custin, I think, with the interior door panels like I showed you. The fuel economy, not that fantastic. The road noise, not that great, but not bad either. The ride is good, the feature set is good. So yeah, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think about this vehicle. I can't really make my mind up about it because I'm not the target market for it. Anyways, this is Vince of AutoIndustriya.com. Thank you for watching. Please do give the video a like and give our channel a subscribe if you found this very useful to your car buying needs. Okay, ano tayo? Susundo ba tayo ngayon?